Hi, I'm Rebecca Townsend, and I've coached soccer for several decades now, mostly in an inner city youth ministry, but also with middle school and high school teams in schools and in a club setting. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on my coaching philosophy and some of the things that I've learned in this C course. I wish I could have memorized all of this, but please bear with me as I uh, offer some thoughts from my notes here. Um, my coaching philosophy, I aim to foster a fun, health conscious, soccer loving environment in which players are expected to invest 100% of their effort and attention in return for the guarantee of skill improvement and the likelihood of improved success on the soccer field. The following values make growing such an environment possible: clear communication, starting between coach and players and extending through the players themselves, and then with the parents. Effective communication is at the heart of a functioning, cohesive soccer unit, which is what any winning team must strive to be. High personal expectations. While it's natural for all of us to expect excellence from each other, we must first ask it of ourselves. As the Yeglis say, players must have a burning desire to achieve success and drive to be the best they can. This makes grassroots excellence possible, where players are holding each other accountable to train as hard as possible every day, where the message is not coming from just the coach, but from every single member of the team. Integrity. Players and coaches must be truthful to each other and hold each other and themselves accountable for investing their best at all times in practice and in personal training, not just the games. This character trait also mandates that team members not be two-faced. Backstabbing is not tolerated. Compassion. Again, between coaches, players, and parents, compassion is necessary because we are all human. We must try to be patient, loving, understanding, and respectful to each other as humans while still holding each other accountable for investing the hard work necessary to build a great team. Humility. It's important for all of us to remember that the primary purpose for all of us here is to serve others on the team, whether we're picking up trash, sitting the bench when we'd rather be playing. We work hard and do not expect recognition. When recognition does come, we are grateful, not arrogant. Each one of us brings a unique set of gifts to our game. Some of these gifts are not immediately apparent. We must be patient and supportive of all our players and their development. Confidence in one's own personal skills is essential, but egotism that strives to place some on a pedestal and others in the gutter has no place in my program. Strength. Personal fitness is a fundamental value of my program. Team members should expect to build their bodies through cardiovascular, strength training, and stretching work. Hard work also depends, I'm sorry, hard work also demands strength of character. We should strive to do what is right, which is not always what is easy. Positivity is an extremely important component of my coaching philosophy and approach to life. It's not always easy either, but without it, life is not worth living, hardly. Coach Todd Yeagley put it best, crediting his father. He said, "A player's performance is shaped through a positive attitude and is inhibited by anxiety and fear of failure. Performance is bolstered through courage and confidence. Players must demonstrate positive self-worth, always striving to build up teammates. Performance follows attitude." That is something that is embedded into the IU team. There's not a team that they've had that's been able to achieve national championship success that has not had incredible attitude toward team first mentality. Positivity means we walk to the field confident, expecting to win because we've put in 100% of ourselves, training to be the best group of players we can be. On to my personal SWOT analysis, identifying strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats um, as they pertain to the tasks of a coach and the associated competencies that those tasks demand. So when I looked at the task of leadership, that came across as a strength. I said servant leadership is a style I embrace, and this is a strength that acts as a plumb line for me when some aspects of my job may be exhausting or frustrating. I know if I'm showing up to try to help others because that's what I've been called by God to do, then I'm on the right track, even if I am and always will be in this life an imperfect creature who's currently being attacked by a mosquito. When it comes to the task of coaching games, I've found an opportunity for improvement, particularly in the way I do opposition research ahead of a game and translating that into definable tasks and player actions so I can give my players concrete ideas about how to meet those threats through being aware of their positions and roles and player actions. On coaching training sessions, I still have weaknesses when it comes to executing pre-planned sessions because of the unpredictability of attendance in the high school environment where I coach. There's also a lot of unpredictability in terms of the vibe of a group of teenage girls on any given day. I'll put a pin in that. I aim to execute more sessions in the style we learned during the course, specifically identifying game moments and the associated actions we must execute, plus tracking objective data to help us quantify our performance and organize our trainings. When it comes to leading the players, I'd say that's probably one of my greatest strengths, is my ability to develop a rapport with players because I lead with my heart and they know I love them all and I want the best for them. I'm willing to help them on any skill or issue and provide connections to more resources as needed. When it comes to leading the team, opportunities remain for me to help teenage girls navigate interpersonal conflicts to promote greater unity on the team. Disunity and ego represent threats, which we've encountered to some degree, though they are not currently dominant trends. The Band app, which we use for team communication, is an opportunity for communication, but it's also a threat for miscommunication that I have yet to manage to my satisfaction because people, parents and players, kind of have access to all of each other, so they can make posts that may or may not support other players' well-being in terms of feelings and emotions. Anyway, band represents an ongoing challenge. Managing the performance environment, honestly, the biggest threat I face at this point is the lack of an AED on my training ground, despite me asking my AD for one several times. I do know where the AED is at our playing ground, but we need to improve on this. We also need to improve on access to water and other first aid, though I do try to bring ice and water with me anytime soccer is involved. This course has helped me to assess my coaching performance on a more granular level, taking each aspect of my job and probing to see if improvements can be made. Reflecting on this course and the anticipated opportunities and challenges when it comes to my continued development, I say, though I appreciate the role of positions and team roles, I've always been somewhat iconoclastic on the subject, naively or creatively insisting that all players know all roles so that they can behave in an amoeba-like way that would utterly confound their opponents. Not that all players would be gifted at all positions, but that they would be able to drift from one to the other as necessary to capture goal scoring opportunities. For coaching youth soccer, however, building a foundation based on predictability is important. I'm grateful for the focus my coaches have placed on the 5 W's of who, what, where, when, and why. Throughout this course, I've become more effective at identifying game situations that we can isolate to assess the 5 W's and ask ourselves, what are we trying to do here, and how well did we do it based on these objective criteria. Continuing to distill our performance to these elements and then designing trainings to support improvements promises to bode well for my ability to effectively lead my teams and support improvement for individual players and the group as a whole. To be honest, I've been overextended to a pretty insane degree this fall, which has robbed me of a more relaxed, in-depth approach to the large amount of material presented for our digestion. Still, whenever I did manage to steal some precious time to study soccer, which truly is one of my favorite subjects, I felt grateful for the opportunity to do so. Timing will probably remain the greatest challenge to my development, as it has so far. Ever since high school and college, I've had to balance my soccer with outside jobs. I wonder what it would be like to work 100% of my time in a professional soccer environment. It has always seemed out of reach, even though I've wanted it since college. There wasn't an immediate pathway for me to achieve that. I already felt like it was out of grasp when I graduated from college in 1996. But it's been gratifying to see the development of the women's game across the last 30 years and the explosion of opportunity for women in the game. And though I feel like a dinosaur sometimes and like maybe those opportunities will best be for younger, more talented players, I've learned in life not to close my mind to opportunities that I may not yet know exist. So I remain hopeful that there will be continued demand for the soccer skills that I've developed so far, and I look forward to seeing where the game might lead me as I move forward in life. Thank you so much for taking the time to help me be a better coach, and I'll see you soon on the field, hopefully.